Hello my dear student, welcome you all in science class. Today we are going to learn about the chapter 8 body movement part 3. This in the previous part we have discussed about introduction of the chapter. We have discussed about the different like how the skeletal system is made up of, वो कितनी चीजों से मिलके बना है. And now today we are going to learn about the parts of human skeletal system, or else the human skeletal system and its part. And its parts. Okay, so student, human skeleton is consist of different part. Definitely human skeleton is made up of by the, it is a bony structure made by the bone. Here you can find that, you can see that I am having a dummy of skeleton system. In this you are finding that different parts of it. That part we are going to learn here. So the first part which we are going to learn, that is the skull part, the human skull. The first part is the skull. Skull is the bony structure which is which is having the brain present in it. Brain control all the life, all the functions of the body. Body के सारे functions जो होते हैं, that is being controlled by the brain. So student, we are going to learn, brain is enclosed in the one of the brain box which is made by the bony structure called as skull. That brain box is called as cranium, जिसको हम cranium कहते हैं. Inside that cranium the brain is located. How many bones are required to form the skull? So here the 22 bones are required to form human skeleton. Skull. Skull is made up of by 22 bones. They are fused together and then they are forming this human skull. Human skull is having one of the movable joint, that is the lower jaw. Lower jaw is having the movable joint. This movable joint, with this movable joint, we are able to speak, we are able to eat, we are able to talk. So many, whatever the activities are being done by the mouth, that is due to the movable joint of the lower jaw. This is the lower jaw of skull. This is upper jaw of this human skull. Fine student, this lower jaw is called as mandible. इसको हम mandible भी कहते हैं. This is named as the lower jaw. The bone of the lower jaw is named as mandible. Upper jaw, this upper portion of the jaw is this bone is called as maxilla, जिसको हम maxilla कहते हैं. This maxilla and this is mandible. Fine. It is having certain different parts also of the human skull that are just like occipital. This is the front part of the human skull is made by the frontal bone. Frontal bone, the name of that bone is called as frontal bone. So student, I think you understood about the human skull. Human skull is consist of 22 bones and they are fused together to form the human skull. Brain is enclosed in the brain box, that is named as cranium, जिसको हम cranium कहते हैं. And then the human skull is having the lower jaw. Lower jaw is having movable joint. Okay, due to that only we are able to talk. So student, now let's move towards the next part of the human skull, human skeleton, that is the second one. We are calling it backbone, or else we are calling it vertebral column. This vertebral column is basically vertebral column. Vertebral column is made by 33 vertebrae. There are 33 vertebrae Vertebrae are there which are combined together and forming the bony structure, which is called as backbone of the human skull, or else we are saying that it is the vertebral column. Here you are finding these structures which are combined together and forming the vertebral column. These individual structure called as vertebrae. Okay, they are called as vertebrae, and they are having the hollow structure from inside, by which from as these are combined together, they are in the number 33, as they are having the hollow structure present in it, so they are forming the tubular structure. That tubular structure having the passage of spinal cord. उसमें से spinal cord pass होती है. That is, the spinal cord is moving, or spinal cord is passing through that, and it is having the connectivity with the brain, and this spinal cord is having the connectivity with what? With nerve cells also. These nerve cells are helping in transferring the messages, quick messages which are being transferred by the message, like if our sense organ, whatever we are feeling with the sense organ, like whether the object is hot, cold, any kind of sensation, that sensation will be received by the sensory organ. Sensory nerves are taking that message and sending directly to the brain, and then brain is reacting accordingly. Brain is giving order accordingly. तो आपने अगर किसी hot pot को अगर touch कर लिया है, so that hot pot, you are removing that your hand from that hot pot quickly. Why it is done? Because why this process is being done? Because of this, nerve cells are the longest cells of the body, and they are carrying that message from sensory organ towards the brain, and brain is responding. But this sense, as they are connected to the spinal cord is a part of the this one backbone. So backbone से जैसे वो connect होती है, and then they are transferring the message to the spinal cord. This transfers the message to the brain, and there the response will be given by the brain. Okay, fine. So understood by everyone. The spinal cord is made, or the vertebral column is made by the 33 vertebrae. Okay, now let's move towards the next part of the human skull. That is, you are finding this is the bony structure which is in the chest cavity. This bony structure is called as rib cage. This rib cage is it is a bony structure which protects the heart and lungs in the chest cavity. Heart and lungs are the two delicate organs. These delicate organs are as they are working in the chest cavity, heart is pumping the blood, and the lungs are doing the functioning of respiration, or they are inhaling. We are inhaling the gases, we are exhaling the gases. At the time of inhalation, the lungs are expanding. Then inhalation, lungs are expanding. At the time of like exhalation, the lungs are contracting. So at that time, the contraction and expansion, due to that contraction and expansion, the lungs may get damaged. So to protect that one, we have this skull is having the rib cage. The cage is surrounded to these two organs which are being protected by it. This rib cage is basically made by 12 pairs of ribs. 12 pairs of ribs. These 12 pairs, shall we count? So you can see here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Oh my God, it is 10. But I said here it is 12 pair. Oh, so let's turn this human skull and we can count from the back side also. So student, please count it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, that's amazing. From the back side it is 12 pairs, but from the front side it is only 10 pairs. So these 10 pairs of the ribs get connected to the front portion of the rib cage is, it is called as sternum. This is named as sternum. This front portion by which it is connected, the ribs are getting connected, is called as sternum, and from the back these ribs are connected to the backbone, vertebral column. So from the back side, these last pair of last two pairs of the ribs are not connected to the front portion of the rib cage called as sternum. These two pairs are called as floating ribs. We are calling them floating ribs. Is it clear to everyone? Hope you understood about it. It is made by the 12 pair of ribs, and these ribs are basically protecting the delicate organ which are available in the chest cavity, which are available inside this cavity. Hope this is clear to everyone. Now let's move towards the next part, that is the shoulder. If we talk about the shoulder bones, so shoulder bones, here you can find that these two bones are, this is one pair, the shoulder bone. This is the fourth one. Shoulder bones are available in one pair. They are only one pair. If you touch it, this part, this is having, if you will touch it, you will be feeling the hard part here. This is the bone which is called as collarbone. It is also called as collarbone. It is having the end portion. This is going to end till the shoulder. And here it is having the cavity structure, this kind of cavity structure. This cavity structure is called as socket. जिसको हम socket कहते हैं. In this socket, the bone of our hand or forearm, this is the forearm. Okay, this forearm bone, this above portion which is ball-like, the topmost region, this is fit inside the socket, and it is freely moving in that socket. So that's why due to that freely movement of this bone into the socket, that's why we are going to move the hand with a 360 degree. हम 360 degree पे इसको move करा सकते हैं. Okay, another part of the body which we can move at 360. Student, can you tell me? I hope you all have guessed it. So yes, this is the leg. As we can move our legs also at 360 degrees. This is the leg which is fit in the hip girdle region. This is the hip girdle. Hip girdle is the part of the bone, part of the human skull which bears the weight of the body. The above part of the body part, weight is being bear by this part. This is hip girdle. Okay, this hip girdle is also having ball and socket joints present here. This ball and socket joint again provides the 360 movement of the legs. Okay, so that's why we are calling it as a freely movement joint, or else we can say that it is the ball and socket joint. The ball and socket joint, student, where they are located at the shoulder and at the hip girdle. Okay, fine. Let's move towards the next one, that is the limbs. We'll talk about the limbs. Okay, if we talk about the limbs are limbs. Human skull is having the like two limbs are there. One is one is hind limb. Hind limb you can talk about. It is leg region. Leg is having the bones present there in the legs. They are called as hind limbs, and the limbs like the arms are also containing the bones, and that is called as forelimbs. जिसको हम forelimbs कहते हैं. So student, these limbs are also helping in the working of the human body, and these limbs are having the bones present here. Forelimbs अगर हम बात करें, forelimbs में आप यहाँ देख रहे हो two bones are available. So one is the thick bone, another is thin bone. तो एक जो होती है वो thick bone होती है, another one is thin होती है. So these bones are also named as ulna and radius. Radius is the big one and ulna is one, the short one. अगर हम बात करें legs में भी, तो in the legs also, here also in the leg you can find that it is having the one of the thick bone and another one is thin bone. So thick bone is called as tibia, another one is fibula. So tibia and fibulas are two bones are also present there in the leg. Okay, there is one longest bone also, you are finding that it is the longest bone of the body. This is the thigh bone. This is called as thigh bone. So student, I have explained you about the different parts of the human skull and their importance, their roles, how these are helping in movement of the body. So student, let's learn about the more thing in the next video. Thank you and have a nice day.